And back here at home, a member of the Lloydminster Bobcats is recovering in an Edmonton hospital today after a crash involving a semi last night following practice. This was the scene at the intersection of 50th Ave and 55th Street at around 5:30.
Our first observation of the scene just indicate that a vehicle most probably went through a stop sign and got hit by a vehicle coming northbound on 50th Avenue.
A portion of 50th Ave was closed for several hours. The extent of his injuries is unknown. Well, a big ticket item on the minds of many city councillors during the 2017 budget process now has some direction. After patiently waiting for a decision, the Lloydminster Economic Development Corporation will no longer exist, but its staff aren't going anywhere. Adam McVicker with the latest.
We're dealing with people. At the end of the day, we're dealing with human lives.
After months of uncertainty surrounding their fate, the Lloydminster Economic Development Corporation now has a better idea of how they'll do business moving forward.
It's been pretty stressful for them. They're good people, they work hard, and I think they've done an incredible job.
City Council, presented with 4 options, moved to absorb the agency and its 3 staff members within City Hall.
Economic development is key to the city, and there's no question economic development is going to continue. It's going to change from what we've seen in the past.
The decision welcomed by administration, who will now develop and repeal bylaws establishing the arm's-length agency.
Having it inside City Hall will actually allow council to have a much greater insight into what's going on with that function through the city manager's office.
The move forces the city to find $80,000 to cover the costs not already budgeted for the department.
There's $238,000 currently in LADC's holdings, so once it's dissolved, those monies will come back to the city. So the $80,000 is found in there.
For the last 3 months, the dissolution of the LEDC has been in limbo in an effort to save $500,000. Retaining the agency in its current structure would have required a 2.39% increase to the mill rate. Though a decision has been made, Councillor Ken Baker has reservations on how the entire budget process has been handled.
We have many, many items we haven't even talked about yet. And big items, $1 million items, $2 million items. You know, there's probably $10 million worth of stuff we haven't even discussed yet.
Well, there's still plenty of work to be done to implement these changes, which the city hopes to have in effect by March 1st. Now, Newcap News reached out to the Lloydminster Economic Development Corporation for a comment. They declined until after they hold a full board meeting sometime next week. Reporting from City Hall, Adam McVicker, Newcap News.
And the PC leadership race is heading into its final stretch with the vote approaching in March. Candidates have limited time to get Tory voters on side with their vision. Newcap News caught up with Vermilion Lloydminster MLA and leadership hopeful Dr. Richard Starkey to get his thoughts on the campaign.
It is a much closer race than what is being reported by some outlets. I can tell you that with a great deal of confidence.
The party is a third of the way through the delegate selection process. Dr. Starkey says he's been receiving a positive response on the campaign trail, but admits the party has work to do. Starkey is back in the border city for a short time, fresh off a leadership debate in Edmonton, where he and other contenders were adamant against uniting the right.
You can't pull off the kind of merger that is being suggested in a span of 2 years under current Alberta election law. It can't be done. So, you know, why would we do something that is high risk and may well fail?
The Alberta PCs will select a new leader at a delegated convention in Calgary on March 17th. There are 4 candidates vying for the job. And now to an example of border city residents going above and beyond for their neighbors. Jessica and Joseph Roders got a helping hand right when they needed it the most. Josh Ryan has more on this act of kindness that restored their faith in humanity.
On January 4th, Jessica and Joseph Roders had reached a low point, jobless, homeless, and running out of fuel.
You know, times are tough for everybody, so we just do what we have to do and get through every day and move on.
When their car ran out of gas right in front of the subway off 50th Ave, retired RCMP officer Dave Jarvis and his family came to their aid.
I'm not so good with the stress and anxiety, so I kind of had a panic attack, and out of the blue, she says, there's someone someone at our door.
I asked if I could be of some help. They indicated they didn't have any funds, but they were out of gas, so I said, not a problem. Got them some gas and then took them over to Co-op and filled their tank with gas.
The Jarvises also provided the Roders with a meal, leaving them at a loss for words.
I was taken back and I was in shock. And most of all, I didn't know how to react to it. I didn't know how to be grateful.
Jessica shared the story on Facebook, hoping that goodwill would spread throughout the community.
I put it out there so people could know that there are still good people in the world.
If one more person helps somebody else, then it becomes a snowball effect, and eventually you have a far better community to live in.
Currently, the Roaders are still looking for employment, but this act of kindness from strangers has restored their optimism for the future.
For them to help us out of the blue for no reason, it really lifted my spirits and, put me back into trusting in, other people.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
A local model will be walking in Western Canada Fashion Week in Edmonton this coming March. Casda Allen is a 14-year-old girl who was recently discovered by Steve Edgerton, a Western Canada Fashion Week photographer who scouted her for the upcoming show.
It's like an amazing opportunity. It'll help me get my face out there. It'll help me just show who I am and express myself and put my face out there to other photographers that might want to sign with me or work with me, and it's just a really great opportunity for me.
Allen has only been modeling for a year, and while she says she's nervous for the show, she's also very excited, adding modeling gives her an outlet.
Is like all through school, it's kind of just like I have to show everybody, like I had to pretend to be that person and like be everybody, everything everybody wants, and like through modeling I could just be myself and show who I really am through people.
Going forward, Allen hopes to eventually be on the cover of a fashion or beauty magazine and to sign with someone to become a signature model. Well, the Gun and Outdoor Sportsman Show is on this weekend, and next Friday's Robbie Burns Night in Edgerton. Heather Clagus has the details in this week's What's Happening.
Get your ticket now for a huge party next Friday night. The Edgerton and District Historical Society is hosting their annual Robbie Burns Night. They're going to have a happy hour, supper, then a Kaylee to follow, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So make sure you get your tickets so that you can join in the celebration next Friday night. If you love being out in the great outdoors, the Lloydminster and District Fish and Game Association has a great show that you'll want to check out this weekend. They're hosting their annual Gun and Outdoor Sportsman Show. It's been voted the #1 gun show in Western Canada, so make sure you check it out this weekend. Your chance to see rifles, ammo, they've also got clothing and boots, archery items, and if you love to fish, they'll have things for you as well. Plus, it's a family event. Kids 12 and under, they get in for free. Admission is $10. You can check it out this weekend at the Service Sports Center. Tomorrow and Sunday, it opens up at 10 a.m. Hockey is the big game today, and coming up next month, it's going to be all about football. The Super Bowl is coming up, and it's been announced that Lady Gaga will be performing at the halftime show. We want you to win a copy of her brand new album, Joanne. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontest@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. Tomorrow in Maidstone, it's your call. Will you hold 'em or will you fold 'em? The Legion is hosting a Texas Hold'em tournament. Registration gets underway tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Clagus, and that's what's happening.
Lakeland College will be the home of the 2016-17 ACAC Curling Championships, taking place February 24th to 26th. Before that, the teams make a stop in Edmonton and a last chance for the Rustlers to qualify for the provincial Bonspiel. Lance Phillips has more.
After the fall regional in Red Deer, two of Lakeland's curling teams are on the outside looking in to the provincial championship picture. The men's team finished with a record of 1-5, while the women finished 1-4. Certainly not the records either squad hoped for, but despite their placement, optimism is high.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident going into Edmonton compared to our last regional here. We've been on the ice practicing a lot. We have had so much hard work and effort put in from all of our team members here. They've really improved over the Christmas break. They've taken time to throw on their own when they went home, and they've been putting in a lot of hours at the rink here in Vermilion.
I definitely feel like we've improved a ton since our last regional. Execution is a big thing. That was kind of where we got into a little bit of trouble in Red Deer.
So we've been working a lot, practicing a lot, just getting our weight down, having that draw weight in our back pocket.
Of the 3 rinks, only 3 players returned from last year, and with that comes a multitude of challenges to overcome.
I think just team chemistry. It takes a while to get settled as a team, obviously, when nobody knows each other for the first month. You don't know what the tendencies are on the throws. You don't know how somebody is going to miss, so you kind of have to ice people differently based on that.
Just communicating between each other on the ice a lot and making sure that we know what the expectation is.
We've been actually, as a team, we played in mixed doubles a little bit and did a couple of fun little formats just to do some team bonding, and it's just been great. I think we've just been building as a team from there.
The Rustlers' best hope for a provincial placement comes from the mixed team. Their 6-1 record after Fall Regional puts them in an excellent position. The team's first draw in Edmonton is against a much weaker Portage College and provides an opportunity for Lakeland to start the tournament off with a win.
Our mixed team is doing very well this year. They had a fantastic showing at the first regional. We expect fully for them to show at provincials and to qualify for provincials this year.
We still know we have to come out strong, even though Portage doesn't have the best record. We know they're still a good team, and we have to come out playing our best. We can't go in the mindset that we know that we're going to win that game guaranteed, because nothing's guaranteed on the ice.
The only guarantee is the fun they have, and that's determined solely by them. Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.